welcome to UC Today with me, David Dungay. Today I'm joined by Ian Rowan and Rob Loakes, UK channel managers of Wildix. Welcome to the show, guys. It's great to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of channel and what that means and why people should be buying their products and services through channel partners. But before we get into that conversation, Ian, could you give us a bit of a rundown as to who Wildix is and what you do?
Okay, so Wildix is officially Europe's leading UCaaS provider, according to Gartner and their latest Magic Quadrant. We're the only inclusion from a European vendor on there, which is really good to see. It shows the strength that we've got in our product and, most importantly, our partner network. That they are effectively our product. We've been providing that service in the UK since 2017, built up a really good partner community. Since our inception in 2003, it's only ever been channel focused. We don't do anything directly. We don't see an advantage of that. And that's why one of the things that Gartner recognised in including us on that Magic Quadrant this year when they made us the leading vendor in Europe.
Thanks, Ian. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about your channel partner ecosystem now and how they've adapted over the last sort of 12 to 18 months. It's been a pretty crazy time for everyone. But how's your channel really adapted to that this period?
Well, let's be fair. Our channel and the partners that we work with, and every partners, even the ones we don't work with that are in our industry, they're used to evolution, and it is evolution, not revolution. If you look at the last 20 years, how things have adapted from TDM to ISDN to SIP now to mainstream UCaaS, it's a constant change. Connectivity is a big driver behind that, because I remember it was dial-up and then it was DSL services, and again it's progressed, and as that's become more of a more available, more widely accepted by everybody, that they'll pay a little bit extra for those business grade connections. The services that go on top of that just keep evolving for that, and our channel is prime and always able to adapt to those changes in the marketplace and in the technology. It's both. They don't just adapt to the technology, they adapt to how the market is buying as well. And we're in a really fortunate position that our partners will continue to take that adoption really well. And I think whatever the next technology that we throw at them, they'll do exactly the same again. We're in such a lucky position and such a lucky industry that just keeps evolving, and it has to keep doing that to be relevant to the market. And let's hope it continues, and so do our partners.
I want to come to you now, Rob. We've seen a lot of the mega brands in the UC and tech space over the last 2 years have absolutely phenomenal growth, some real success stories. What I want to know is, though, do customers still value buying their technology through a channel partner than maybe perhaps directly through one of these huge brands?
Yeah, 100%. And firstly, thanks for putting us in that mega brand category as well. We appreciate that. But I mean, yeah, of course, channel, as Ian mentioned, channel's our only route to market and has been since back in 2003. You look at our channel partners, that is one of the main reasons that they have partnered with us. And Gartner obviously recognised that, and that's one of the key reasons that we were added to the Magic Quadrant in the UCaaS space. When we talk about channel, I suppose it's relationship. You're dealing with the vendor directly, and a lot of that's disappeared over time. If you look at the big players, and we all know who they are, at one point they did have a channel adoption, and then they went down the distribution route. And all that does that relationship sort of goes away. You go into a Neumann or a Westcon of the world to buy your products, buy your solution. And then people they recognise it's easy to buy from those services, and consumers, end users, can benchmark prices against that as well because they're easily accessible on their websites. So from a partner perspective, selling into that end customer becomes more difficult as well. We don't make any pricing public. So our partners don't get caught up in this race to the bottom. They are buying directly from the vendor, and the end customers don't have any visibility of pricing at all.
So direct and indirect routes to market, it's been something the channels had to deal with, it seems like forever and a day. Are we still seeing, though, Ian, I want to come to you now, are we still seeing those vendors still taking business away from their channel partners in some instances today?
Unfortunately, yeah, and I think there's been some acquisitions as well where some American vendors have acquired some established European players, and they've gone and actually attacked that base directly. We've actually won some partners on the back of that. It's such an unfair marketplace where the vendor is competing directly against one of their partners or their perceived partners. Where does that give the value back to that organisation? Where do they trust them to share their customer names for their future, for their deals that they've got today and their customers now? If there's the potential that in a couple of years they might go to them directly. There's newer brands that are doing that as well, that have actually built into their collaboration systems, their desktop apps, a message that comes up saying your service is due for renewal, come to us directly. After you've taken so long to win that customer or introduce them to that customer, we've even seen cases where partners have done all the introduction, all the hard work, and then they go directly to the vendor at the end to buy that product. It's such an unfair advantage when you're the brand that the customer is buying. So that's what we try to do, is we try to make the partners the brand. And the reason for that is if you go and buy a solution offline, David, and no disrespect to you, you've been in the industry a long time, you know the products and the services and the people really well. But if you try to deploy a system, you would be limited by your ability to deploy that system. So you could take a good system and make it a bad system, okay, through your ability. Whereas our partners, where they've got all the wraparound services that they sell, like connectivity, maybe a mobile contract's needed, the professional services, and their years upon years of experience, they take our fantastic system and make it the best system in the world. It's only that, though, because of the services they provide with it. If it wasn't for our partners, we would be a mediocre system with everybody else. It's the best product that we've got in our portfolio is our partners. And we could never compete against them. How could we compete against them?
Great. Well, as we know, we live in a world full of software and increasingly self-service tools. Rob, these tools that we're seeing, are they in danger of diminishing the role of the channel partner in any way going forwards, and how they deliver their services to their customers?
Potentially. I don't think it's going to diminish the relationship, but I mean, it's giving end customers what they want, really. I mean, if you go back even as much as sort of 4 or 5 years ago, or even 3 years ago, depending on what product they're using now, they want to change a voicemail, they want to change a name on a phone, they want to put their call to their mobile. That could have been a phone call or an email to their incumbent supplier. I need this change. That change will then be scheduled in, and there'll be a price associated to it, unless they've got a maintenance package with moves and changes built into it or something like that, which historically a lot of partners tended to do. Now, with the platforms available, a lot of them do it. I'd like to say that ours does it the best, obviously, not being biased, but because we keep things simple. Things like routing calls to another number, changing your presence, obviously, within our solution, changing a name on a phone because we sync across devices. It's very, very straightforward to do. But then I suppose there's a flip side to that as well with that. So if I go back now, you're talking about diminished relationships with partners and selling on longer terms, then 7 years, 5 years, end customers don't want that commitment anymore. They want the shorter term. They want the monthly. They want the annual commitments. And what that means is partners are having to be way more proactive with their end customers than they ever were before, because they're not in long-term contracts. I'm talking from experience. I could go and sell a solution on a 7-year lease. I know I've got that customer for potentially 7 years, and I probably wouldn't speak to them again for another 4 or 5 years. But where's the value in that? I'm not really going to have that relationship where I can sell in other services. So the flip side, selling on a shorter term as well, allowing them to be more proactive, means there's a good chance I'm going to build a better relationship and get more services from them.
That question also sort of loops back onto the last one about experience and what the partners can add, because it's great having some self-service tools for diagnostics, but the diagnostics are only as good as that person's understanding. Our channel's got hundreds of years of experience. I've seen a new startup the other day. Somebody that's very known in the channel, I had a quick look on his website, said over 100 years of experience. There's only about 3 or 4 guys in the company. If you added up all the partners' experience that we've got in our whole ecosystem, you'd be talking to hundreds of thousands, and that experience is invaluable to be able to use those diagnostics tools correctly. So there might be self-service that they can do the odd little change and tweak with, but the full self-service and the full manage of that product is best performed by the partners that have got that industry experience.
As I look across the channel landscape, we're seeing all kinds of different models for channel partners to use to go about their daily business. Here in the UK, we like to own our customers a little bit more. We like to own those contracts. Elsewhere in the world, we're seeing the agent and dealer model particularly become more prevalent and successful. I guess my question to you, Ian, are we going to see that prevalence of that sort of agent, super agent or dealer model going forward? Is that going to be the sort of the model the channel will adopt ultimately?
Well, so I do understand the agent model, and obviously we've got an office in the US as well. And when you speak to the partners over there, they're not as established as the partners here in the UK. So their billing systems, for example, to call from one state to the next, the taxation rules across that are absolutely bizarre, and you need like a degree in mathematics just to be able to work it out. So the agent model suits them very well because they haven't invested in the billing infrastructure. They're maybe not the supplier of the connectivity because, again, interstate still different against where you're buying it from. Whereas the UK has built a foundation and an industry on us owning the products, the services, the white label products behind that, the self-billing, etc. And I don't think we'll move to that agent model. The UK isn't ready for it. There's been some great successes from the agent model, and I don't know if you're actually aware, but Daisy set up as an agent model. That's why Matt Riley left DTW and has set up an agency business to start off with and progress from there because he wanted more commission. But he moved straight away from that into being a wholesale provider and a full-on channel business because he knew that that's not the future in the UK. The UK, we invest in the technology, we invest in the solutions to support that for our partners and the end users. And I can't see the UK ever driving towards that. The vendors would like that because they can give you a little bit of commission. They own the customer forever. We want to own the customers in the UK. We've built our business around that and we'll continue to do that for the foreseeable.
We're in a world of value and driving value, and that is, of course, part of the beauty of the channel is to find that. But over the next couple of years, or particularly the next 5 years, where's the channel going to be driving that value for their customers going forwards? Rob?
Just getting over the last 2 years, to be honest with you, David, let alone talking about the next 5. Next 5 years, look, who knows? Technology is moving so quick. Obviously, with what's happened the last couple of years, the industry knows it's propelled our industry no end to years ahead where we thought we were going to be. User adoption is changing all the time. Obviously, we're seeing it now in terms of more headset sales with devices like laptops and mobile apps and things like that, and the way things are moving forward. I can really, in terms of our solution and what we're going to provide to our partners and their end customers over the next 5 years, we're a fast-moving company. We're developing all the time. We've got really clever guys working for our organisation, over 100 developers now. And I mean, just this year, you've probably seen with our summit, just what we're releasing just this year alone, our new platform XPs, sales-orientated platform designed to increase sales for your business. Come in via a web chat. You can engage with the end customer. They can then bring more people into that decision-making process. And keep re-engaging with them as well. So if things go quiet, you can reach out to them. You can turn it into a video conference, things like that. And initially, that platform will integrate with Salesforce, but moving forward, we'll integrate with more and more CRMs as it grows. Other things that we developed this year as well for our partner network, because we've seen a big demand for it, was X-Hoppers, which is our full retail mode. Again, being an agent or a shop floor assistant, having a headset, somebody go into a QR code next to, say, a TV or a microwave, whatever. I don't know why I said microwave, but scan it and then get that agent to come over and assist, or even that call to go to a contact center agent. All these things are real innovation and obviously driving our industry forward. And just going back to the XPs as well, we've also got AI on the back of that, where it will basically a platform that will fall in line with our call recording. We'll pull out transcription to ensure the agents, the salespeople, the customer care services people are saying the correct things and providing the utmost customer experience, I suppose. So moving forward this year, exciting things. Next 5 years, who knows what next year holds for us? Augmented reality, maybe. Who knows? Ian will tell you more about that because he's just invested in a VR headset. but yeah, but just this year alone, big announcements for us, and moving forward.
I can see the AI being a big thing over the next few years. That immersive conferencing, rather than, as more and more people are hybrid, being able to be immersed in a conference and using that as an experience. I think we'll see that coming along. The use of AI in a live situation, so it'll say, okay, Rob, you've spoken too much, let the customer speak interactively on the screen. That's going to be a bit of a game changer. The retail stuff, what I'm most excited about personally is we've got some great stuff we can do in that. And what I really want to get done is my local Tesco Express. If I go in there for a packet of cigarettes and there's a lady in front of me that's doing a weekly shop in the Tesco Express, and then she buys 20 scratch cards and she's there in front of me, and all I want is a pack of cigarettes and I can't use the self-service till. When you can start introducing tobacco products or behind-the-counter products, and it just announces into the user, give till one this product, that's going to be a game changer for me personally. So I can't wait to see some of that technology coming through and being used in the marketplace.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're getting towards the end of the conversation now, but before we go, I just want to ask one last question to Ian. How is Wildix going to be supporting its channel customers over the coming year? What can they expect from the Wildix camp, and what's coming next?
What we ensure we always do is we don't focus just on our products. As I said before, we focus on our partners a lot. And one of the innovative things that we do, and I don't think there's many other vendors do this in our space, is we don't just invest in our training. I think that's the only training we should provide on our product and our services. We also invest in industry standard, highly regarded training. And we use two different organisations, Value Selling Associates. And that's all about identifying the value in the opportunity, getting away from the price list, looking at the personal value for the user, because there's always personal value, but people often forget that in the sales process, and going through a very really simple but methodical process for the sale. So you're identifying the value and delivering the solution on that value. To ensure you deliver that value, then we also supply our partners with something called Kanban training. Again, we use an external organisation to provide that, Kanban University, and it's a project methodology where it allows them to visualise the workflow and ensure that there's no blockages in the workflow, to ensure that value that was identified in the first step is delivered. Now, we deliver that training, or pay for that training from external organisations to all of our partners. Every year we put on different workshops up and down the country. We try to take the partners out after the first night, have a good time, build on that relationship, because that relationship is really important to us as well. But investing in that training is a win-win. And like I say, it's not a Wildix training. They can use that training against every other product that they sell. But we know that we will get better sales and better customers, and the customers will have better use of our solutions because we have invested in that training. And that's just one of the things we'll continue to do over the coming years.
I'm afraid that's all we've got time for now. Rob, Ian, thank you so much for joining me. It's always been a pleasure to talk to you both.
Thanks for having us.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Today. If you like today's conversation, please give us a like and a share on social media. That's it from me. I'll see you next time.